Howdy folks, welcome to this episode of Box Office Bonanza. I'm Russell Jones.
And I'm Patrick Moser. Today in this episode, we're going to be reviewing what happens in Vegas.
That's right folks, so peel those potatoes, make some chips, and let's place our bets.
Alright, what happens in Vegas is about two strangers, Joy and Jack, played by Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher. They awaken together to discover they've gotten married, followed by a night of debauchery in Sin City. And Jack wins a huge jackpot after playing Joy's quarters. The newlyweds devise ever-escalating schemes to undermine each other and to get their hands on the money, only to find themselves falling in love amid the mutual backstabbing. So Russell, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the trailer?
I think that's a great idea, Patrick. Let's roll.
Okay, everyone, I'm gonna bring him in, turn on the lights, and that's when you yell, surprise.
We need to talk. I don't want to marry you, Joy. I'm sorry.
Surprise.
Did you guys hear that?
You're fired. Don't get me wrong, you're like a son to me. Dad, I am your son. Yeah. Here's the one place where you can step up and be a man.
Community college?
Where can you go? You can forget all your troubles.
Vegas!
Vegas!
Come on, one drink.
Your Vegas isn't exactly my Vegas.
Well, maybe it should be.
I'm not usually this much fun! I take them.
You know what? I'll call you about the annulment.
Why don't you just email me?
We'll always have Vegas.
That was my quarter!
I put the quarter in the slot.
What's mine is yours, baby. Remember?
Marriage is about commitment. I am freezing the $3 million and sentencing you to 6 months hard marriage.
Objection!
How hard can it be?
I know how hard it isn't.
Till death do us part.
Not if I don't kill you first.
We are not having sex ever.
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 Now, that felt like a real married couple.
Hi.
There is a hot girl party going on in my living room.
Dude, it's a trap.
No, this happens.
No, it doesn't happen.
Almost done.
Oh, yeah. This is happening. By the way, it's your day for dishes.
Yes, that is the topping I wanted on my popcorn. Thanks.
Well, Patrick, that movie trailer looked mighty exciting.
Well, it did, and actually because of the trailer originally in the theater, I thought this was going to be a great movie. Because I love Cameron Diaz, and I don't mind Ashton Kutcher, and I love Las Vegas. It's one of my favorite vacation spots.
Agreed on all three accounts, my friend. Las Vegas is always a great place to be. I really enjoyed that. And Kutcher, I'd agree, wasn't his best acting, but I've never really been a big fan of him. Now, the real trick to this movie was watching Cameron Diaz. It was extremely, extremely hot. I loved her.
Really? You thought she was hot in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, because I sure didn't. I kind of thought that she was looking old. I saw her on screen because, I love her, and I was like, wow, she hasn't aged well.
Well, not everybody can be a canned peach in the summertime, Patrick. So I think that she really played this part well off of all that. I thought she was very sexy.
Really? Okay. Well, I guess the biggest problem that I had with this movie was the whole premise. They get drunk in Vegas. They end up getting married. They wake up. Ashton Kutcher goes and wins a jackpot, and then they decide they hate each other and they want to get a divorce. They go to court, and the judge won't let them get divorced, which is crazy. What judge doesn't let someone get divorced and sentences them to 6 months hard marriage? Really? Yeah. Did they say that?
It's very unrealistic, but that's the fact of movie life, my friend. That happens, and it's part of the movie in Hollywood. It's just very unrealistic. Very unrealistic. So,
the other problem that I had, quite frankly, is all three of these actors. I mean, these two actors I like, but for some reason I didn't think that they were into this movie. Like, I felt it had a total devoid of on-screen chemistry. In fact, I think you and I might have more on-screen chemistry than they did.
Don't flatter me, Patrick. Anyways, I really thought that they had a lot of chemistry in there. I thought that they were back in high school doing the chemistry class, just fizzing up the bubbles. I thought they were very, very sexy together. It was very good.
Really? Okay. Well, you may have remembered when you watched this movie that Queen Latifah was in it. Do you remember that part?
How can you forget Queen Latifah?
Right. She had kind of, I don't know if you'd call it a cameo. I think they probably wanted it more than just a cameo. But that's what it ended up being as a cameo. And it was kind of a throwaway part. I mean, it could have been anyone. It could have been Howie Mandel from Deal or No Deal. I mean, for that matter.
Absolutely.
They didn't utilize their talent.
No, they didn't. But my favorite part of Queen Latifah's, and probably the most exasperated role, that's a very difficult word to say, but nonetheless, I think that hers was probably when she was in court testifying against them and saying, these two have issues, but they're perfect for each other. It really reminded me of Spencer and Heidi from The Hills.
Spencer and Heidi from The Hills, I mean, they're two-bit actors and actresses. I mean, they say it's a reality show, but let's get real.
Yeah.
Well, as you can probably tell, I'm not a big fan of this movie. It was supposed to be a romantic comedy. Comedy means laughs. Not a lot of laughs. And romantic, I personally thought Iron Man had more romantic comedy in it than this movie did.
Very true. But one blessing that I must admit for this movie is that I did not see anything related to Forgetting Sarah Marshall. No nudity. That was a plus for me, Patrick. That was a very big plus for me. I did not need to see any of that in this movie, and thank God we didn't see it.
That's true. Russell, this is our last hand. That's all you're going to bet?
Is that a challenge, Patrick?
I think it might be.
Alright, well, just bet it all in there.
Whoa, big spender. So,
big spender!
Alright, well, when you look at this movie, Russell, I guess, how would you rate it?
Well, Patrick, I'd rate it with this blackjack by yelling out, Bonanza!
Sure. Well, you give a Bonanza. I guess that pretty much sums it up for me. A bust. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Bonanza.
That's right, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed the movie.
We go through all this work so that your next trip to the box office can be a bonanza.
That's right, Patrick. So I hope your potatoes are peeled really clean, your chips are fried, and your bets are placed. Thank you, folks.
So long.